Hi, Sheina. Welcome to HRAF.
Hi, Matt.
Today, we're pleased to have Sheina Lew-Levy with us. Sheina is an assistant professor of psychology at the University of Durham in the United Kingdom. Sheina, can you please tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm really thrilled to be celebrating the Human Relation Area File 75th anniversary with all of you. Like Matt said, my name is Sheina, and I straddle anthropology and psychology. I study child development, and I'm originally from Canada, and I moved to the UK a couple years ago to pick up this position.
Excellent. Thank you. How Sheina, do you use HRAF to check your hypotheses in your personal research?
Yeah, so like I said, I study childhood and I specifically work with a community in the Congo Basin. And I'll often go and, spend a lot of time with these kids as they do all kinds of amazing things. And then sometimes I want to know, well, how much of these trends that I've observed actually happen in the rest of the world and what causes that variation? If I had millions and millions of dollars, I would go to all these countries and be able to test those things myself, but I don't. And so Human Relation Area Files is such an amazing resource because I can actually code from that literature all kinds of phenomenon that are happening in kids' lives, and also by combining with DPlace and other resources, see what predicts that variability. So it's an amazing resource for understanding human diversity, but also what trends we can find in how kids grow up around the world.
That's great. And I know you use HRAF for teaching. So how do your students actually use HRAF or EHRAF?
Yeah, so my students use HRAF in a couple ways. First is we use it in the classroom when we're talking about, for example, hunter-gatherers and thinking about the role that hunter-gatherers as real or imaginary have shaped psychological science. We'll go through and we'll do exercises, filling in charts that are available through teaching anthropology and HRAF to see, okay, well, what are these trends and are these trends true in terms of how we perceive of hunter-gatherers, both in the public and in, for example, evolutionary psychology and human behavioral ecology. And then in the UK, all third-year psychology students do a dissertation where they go out and do empirical research. And my undergrad students use human relation area files to develop novel questions about the world and then test those questions with a breadth of data. And it's a great opportunity for them to learn about all the different ways people behave around the world, to learn about the complexities of human data, because it is very complex in the human relation area files, to learn advanced statistics, um, and to be able to generate hypotheses that they're able to test themselves with such a breadth of data.
Sheena, out of curiosity, how did you discover HRAF?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me think on that.
And how long ago was it?
Yeah, I've obviously a long time ago because I'm trying to think. Okay, I remember how I discovered it. In my undergrad in cultural anthropology, we didn't have any quantitative people in my department at McGill in Canada. And I went to see a professor about what I wanted to do. I want to study kids. I want to understand how they behave across cultures. And he described to me the old HRAF system with the paper files and how you would there was a whole system of codes to find the right cards that matched your search criteria, like in person. And that really piqued my interest. And then eventually I met Carol at a conference and then that really piqued my interest. I knew her research because she studied kids. So it was just a confluence of many different things. And it's great that we can use it online because it's a lot more usable than having to go to Yale. Yeah, and I have to say, like, also I find using this resource, I've learned so much about statistics and quantitative methods with all this beautiful qualitative data because to answer questions with this resource, researchers have to develop these really complex statistical models. And it's been really informative for testing out these models before we take them on different types of data. So I think it's shaped a lot of the field qualitatively and quantitatively, and methodologically as well as empirically. It's just the most amazing. There's nothing you can't do with it.
That's fantastic. Anything in closing you'd like to say for our 75th anniversary?
To another 75 years of learning and growing with HRAF.
Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure. Thanks for joining
Thank
us
you.
today.